Okay, everybody, today we're going to be talking about Bitcoin and FTX. Bitcoin's prices have been going down over the past couple of days, so we need to talk about that, and you guys need to have a plan. Now, as far as Bitcoin's concerned, you can see we did break down a couple of days ago. I told you guys this may happen, and what I think would happen after that is more of a dip and rip, so we can retest some of those support levels that now turned into resistance just a few weeks ago. Now, if we zoom out on this chart a little bit, you guys will see that I have this yellow line right here. That's where the June lows were over the summer, okay? Ever since we broke down below that support due to the FTX fiasco, that support turned into resistance. You can see the next few days we tried to close above it, couldn't there, and now we're on our way back up here to try again. If we do not pass this time, there's a good chance we're going to be coming back all the way down to 16,000, maybe even the mid 15,000s here, which is not going to be a fun thing. But to go back over the 4-hour chart here, as long as we stay above this trend line right here, this overall bullish trend should continue, okay? If we start dropping below this, that's where we start getting back into zones where you're looking at your resistance zones right up here. Resistance, 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 resistance over here over the past few hours as well. And then you get your support buying zone way down here. We may have to wait and go all the way back down here before we make a higher move, but I think we have an opportunity to actually go up first, then get down, then break down, and then get back into that buying zone. I'm hoping that that buying zone stays strong, so even if we do fail on this first attempt and we do break down here, there's still going to be an opportunity for you guys to buy one more time, especially as the stock market looks like it wants to continue to rally. Wages were a little weird today. That's not what the market wanted to see, so we are down a little bit here. Same with jobs numbers. So we're kind of in this iffy predicament, but historically, December is a very, very good month for crypto assets, and it's a very, very good month for stock assets as well. Now, one thing I want you guys to be aware of here, I'm just going to get rid of these two little red lines. We're kind of in a weird unorganic pattern right now. We're trying to make a squeeze back up. If you guys wanted to think more long-term, you definitely could. There's always an opportunity where over the next few days, we actually try to get all the way back up here to 19,526. And then we might come back down, of course, but sometime in December, we're testing it out. We may get rejected, but there's always a chance we have a breakout, and that breakout would be enough to have some crazy moves bringing us back above the maybe $22,000 level. But I would say until we manage to close on the daily above this 17,622 level, it's going to be very, very hard for me to say, hey, you guys should go all in on Bitcoin right now, because we also have to worry about some of these Fibonacci extension levels. You can see right there, we reached the white level, number 1. That's where I always tell you guys, I like to scale out, and then, start scaling out there and scale. But the majority is usually out by number 1. And you can see that's where we got rejected, and we're coming back down slowly with that local support level besides the trend lines going more towards that 20-day moving average, which you guys saw right here. That took a lot of force to bring us above it, but it also will take us a lot of force to bring us back down. So if we do break down below this, be careful. It should take us back down to that buying zone. Now, moving on to FTX here, this has been pretty interesting. So the Justice Department wants to start a probe, so they put out the paperwork today to get that probe, that process rolling here. So there's 2 small statements in here I want to read. This thing is pretty long. We're not going to read the whole thing, but just so you guys have an idea of what's going on. So let's start off here. Like the bankruptcy cases of Lehman, Washington Mutual Bank, New Century Financial before them, these cases are exactly the kind of cases that require an appointment of an independent fiduciary to investigate and report on the debtor's extraordinary collapse. And then, so that's kind of the crux of that. We're getting into it. The second one here, and I'm not going to read this first part here, it just says that, hey, they're going to be working for the debtors. Maybe. You know how Washington works. The next part here is, an examiner could and should investigate the substantial and serious allegations of fraud, dishonesty, incompetence, misconduct, and mismanagement by the debtors, the circumstances surrounding the debtor's collapse, the parent's conversion of exchange customers' property, and whether colorable claims and cause of action exist to remedy losses. They might be able to go after Sam for that, especially if they can find out he has any hidden wallets. The appointment of an examiner is mandatory under 11 U.S.C. 1104C subsection 2 because of the debtor's fixed, liquidated, unsecured debts to its customers alone far exceeds section 1104C2's 5 million threshold. Yeah, this is billions of dollars lost. This is definitely going to meet that requirement. So the probe has started. Sam is going to be most likely found guilty of a crime down the road, but the process has now officially started from the Justice Department's viewpoint. Okay, so let's hope the guy rots in jail, but it's gonna be a process, everybody. It's gonna be a process. Thanks for watching.